Good morning, precious saints. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome to the 19th of August, 2024. Good morning. So I wanted to go on a little bit this morning. I don't know how long. I always say that, but anyway, I'll probably finish it. I want to go on a little bit from where we left off yesterday. And I know that... we're going to see, because yesterday, remember, we spoke about the Kohanim and the Levites, or Levitanim, the Kohanim being the high priests, those from the bloodline of Aaron, and the Levitim being the sons of Levi, the fact that they're all, come from Jacob and Leah. And that Leah called Levi because that means attached, which is just really beautiful. Now, and then we had a look at the two covenants that Abba made with the Levites, and how they are to be looked after by the other 11 tribes of Israel. So we looked at the two covenants, the one that we found in Numbers 25, and the other one that we found in Malachi 2, verses 4 through 7. So now these two covenants, sort of as we've seen, right, could raise a serious question for some people. If Christ is the eternal high priest of Israel, how can or could God have established another eternal priesthood through Levi and Aaron? Now, I realize that we are getting slightly sidetracked and a little bit off topic, off the tithe topic or the tithe message. But I think that it's important, just to ensure no confusion, that we answer this possible question, okay, that might come up there. In so doing, we are going to look at the covenant made between God and King David. And we're going to compare the two covenants, and we're going to compare that with the covenants of Levi. So if you'll go with me to 2 Samuel 7, verses 12 to 16. Okay, I'm going to read it in the complete Jewish Bible. So let's see over here. It says, "When your days come to an end and you sleep with your ancestors, I will establish one of your descendants to succeed you, one of your own flesh and blood, and I will set up his rulership. He will build a house for my name, and I will establish his royal throne forever. I will be a father for him, and he will be a son for me. If he does something wrong, I will punish him with a rod and blows, just as everyone gets punished. Nevertheless, my grace will not leave him, as I took it away from Saul, whom I removed from before you. Thus your house and your kingdom will be made secure forever before you. Your throne will be set up forever." Okay, now he's talking about, that's the covenant made to David, right? Now notice how Abba establishes the house, okay, which is the kingdom, and the throne of David forever through his seed, through his descendant, okay, through his seed. Now that is the same seed that is referred to in Genesis 3:15. You can go and check that out. The Lord did not say that David was the Messiah, okay? What was confirmed is that David's sons would be the natural heirs to the kingdom of God. And that this kingdom would only be established through and in Yeshua HaMashiach, who is the king. In other words, he's the throne. And his chosen people, Israel, are his subjects. So the kingdom, right? So you see, David, through Abraham, was the patriarch through whom God would establish a natural lineage connection between Christ and Adam. You see that? So if we look, now this is the most amazing thing. I just find this absolutely, when you look at the word and you break it down like this, one can see that this is not perchance. This wasn't just thumb sucked. This was written with purpose. Because when you look at the two genealogy accounts of Yeshua, one in Matthew and the one in Luke, you'll see two different accounts, and yet they're both the same. And they're both important to understand who, and I want to kind of say what the role of Yeshua was, and that he was to take. So let's have a quick squiz at that. In Matthew, the emphasis is on Christ's title, right, and his lineage through his earthly father, Joseph, as the anointed Messiah of Israel, calling Yeshua the son of Abraham and the son of David. Okay, now remember David, ruler, remember the covenant, okay? Establishing that Yeshua was an Israelite, first of all, because he came from Abraham. And as a descendant of Abraham and David, he's affirmed his royal succession. So he's royal because he comes through David. And go read the covenant again. I just love it. So his royal succession as the king of Israel, right? And then we go and have a look in Luke. And in Luke, the emphasis is on Yeshua's lineage through his mother, Mary, right? Here we see Yeshua's genealogy follows the Davidic line, but through Nathan, and ultimately links Yeshua to the lineage of Heli, who is a descendant of Levi. So good. And the father of the Aaronic priesthood. So once again, as that was given to Israel, showing us that Yeshua was a Levite. Okay, he was a Jew, he was a Levite, he was a priest, he was a descendant of Aaron, so he was a high priest. He was a high priest appointed to do all of those things that only the high priests could do, remember? Reconciling, basically making us look good before God. I mean, there's another way to put it. But coming and the sacrifices and the atonement and all of that. So in Luke, we see how he is, oh, Father, this is so good. He is from the Aaronic priesthood. And in Matthew, we see how he is the royal succession or successor to the royal throne, to royalty, to the king position in Israel. Oh, man. So these two genealogies, they affirm his priestly succession as the rightful high priest, which we know he is our high priest. And he's also our king. As we see, he is affirmed as the king of Israel because of his bloodline through David. Isn't the word just incredible? Isn't it just amazing? So whenever it talks about a permanent succession and what's the word I'm looking for? That everlasting priesthood. When he speaks about that through the Levitical and the Aaronic priesthood and through David, he's not saying that they are. He's not saying that Aaron is. He's not saying that David is. Obviously, he's saying that through your seed, through your descendants, in your lineage comes the high priest and the king. And these two things come together in Yeshua HaMashiach, in Jesus the Christ. Isn't that just like, it blows my mind. I mean, I just absolutely love that. I just love how How when you look at the word, and Christ is all throughout the Old Testament. He is all throughout the Old Testament. And I know we're veering a little bit, but I think it is important that there is an understanding here that because remember, we need to remember that yes, the Jews are God's chosen people, but Christ has come and he has taken his rightful place. And when he comes back, he's going to take his rightful place, and the whole earth is going to see it, as the high priest and the king. And we have to live, that is not the Jews. Yeshua HaMashiach is the high priest and the king. And that is how we live our lives. And we see that, we understand that, praise you, Jesus, that he's made that clear to us. And I'm so grateful. I am so incredibly grateful. So now that we understand the difference between the Levites and the Kohanim, and we understand that, or the difference, or the similarities, or the different roles, shall we put it that way, and we understand that Yeshua is the only way, the truth, and the life, we understand that he is the high priest. He is the King of Israel. Now we can maybe go forward a little bit more into the tithes, and we can have a look at some more of that and how that fits in now with a little bit more understanding. So this has not been a very, very long one this morning, but I do have to run. I've got to be at work again before the sun rises, but I really wanted to share this morning. So until we meet again, keep those wicks trimmed and those lanterns full. Share, guys. Share and shine Jesus. Share and shine Jesus. Some of you might know that I make t-shirts, and I was actually thinking today, you know how Herbalife used to go around with these t-shirts saying, lose weight now, ask me how. I'm making t-shirts. It says, get Jesus today, ask me how. That is, we've got to, guys, we've got to do this. We've got to do this. It's our duty. It's our duty. So go out there, share and shine Jesus, and be grateful and thankful. And in everything, give thanks always. Be blessed, and remember to always be a blessing.